meet the American ladies before the match. Captain Mrs Vare, Mrs Cruz, Mrs Cheney, Miss Patty Berg, Miss Marion Miley, Mrs Hill, Miss Charlotte Glutting, and the British ladies, Captain Miss Chambers, Miss Wanda Morgan, Miss Jessie Anderson, Mrs Walker, Miss Newell, Mrs Holm. This is the 8th time that the British and American women have met for the international match. But this year there's a third competitor, the weather. When Mrs Cheney drives off, it's fairly clear. When Miss Anderson drives off, the wind has freshened from the east, and soon it brings with it a most unwelcome visitor, a Scottish mist, and then the crowd doesn't know whether it's watching golf or the ghost of dangerous Dan McGrew. For the US women, unused to such conditions, it might have been a disaster, but they keep going, and in the end, whether they can win depends on Mrs Cheney, playing Miss Anderson in the last match on the last green. Mrs Cheney misses her putt, and now if Miss Anderson can hold hers, the match will be drawn. And she's done it. So the little Scottish Jessie Anderson becomes the heroine of the afternoon, and America is forced to a draw. And after that, it's only fair that both captains should hold the cup. How do you do?